much for checking another episode. My name is Hiromi Narita. I'm a study abroad advisor at Kirkwood Community College. So today we will hear another experience from a student, Ellen. So please introduce yourself and tell us where you went for study abroad.
Hi everyone, I'm Ellen and I went to South Africa for study abroad this summer for 2 weeks.
Awesome. So what was the program about?
It was about ag, geology, culture, and ecology, I think, which is far from my major. I'm a criminal justice major.
Okay, so why did you decide to join this program?
Mostly for the experience and just to get out there, to be honest, because it was just so cool just being in a different part of the world and just even though the time zone was so different and stuff, but it was quite the experience, I think.
Awesome. So among other programs we have, you decided to join this one.
Yeah.
Were you when you decided to join this, was there any hesitation? Were you nervous?
I kind of hesitated at first because when I was like, oh, I'm going to do study abroad, and my dad was like, okay, but what is it about? And I was just like, ecology, agriculture. He's like, huh? Like, why are you, as a criminal justice student, doing this? I was just like, just for the experience and stuff, just to learn about different people and be in a different environment without my parents being there.
Yeah.
Around different people, just being out of my comfort zone, I think.
Right.
That's one of the main reasons that I did this one.
Was it your first time traveling by yourself without family?
Yes.
Oh.
Usually when I travel with my dad.
Uh-huh.
Like almost all the time, me and my dad are like close, so we usually travel together. So that was my first time just traveling with a group of people I literally just met. Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
It was awkward at first.
Really?
Very awkward.
But I heard at the end your group really bonded.
Yes, because we did share dorms. No, at first when we got to the University of Mpumalanga in South Africa, we didn't share dorms, but we shared stuff. But when we got to during some parts of the trips, we did have to have roommates and stuff like that. And I think just because it was new to everybody, we all kind of bonded in where we felt like, oh my God, this is so different from how we would do stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to know more about your program and what you experienced. So how about any cultural aspect? What did you see? Was there any culture shock?
For me, I wouldn't say it's a culture shock. I was just kind of like, oh, wow, it's so different. When we got there was this dish called pap, which is very similar to soft rice, how we call it in Liberia, West Africa. So it's usually where you make the rice, but you soften the rice instead, and you eat it with sugar or milk. But in South Africa, it's hardened, and you eat it with stew.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was one of the main things I kept telling everybody about. I'm like, this dish looks familiar, but we make it in a different way. I enjoyed the pop though, but that was one thing that really stuck out to me. Oh wow, this is so similar.
Yeah. Interesting. So you kind of observe similarities.
Yeah, but a lot of differences too, because a lot of African countries have tribes within those countries. So I was expecting them to have tribes, but there was this tribe that had a similar name to one of the tribes in Liberia, like Zulu, I think it was. So I was kind of fascinated by the fact that Africa is so different but so similar at the same time.
Wow. Wasn't it a good experience for you?
Loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Then how about people that you met or your group or the people you met in universities? Yeah.
The students at Mpumalanga was just so nice and just so sweet. At first there was the accent barrier a little bit, but as we talked to each other and learn more about each other, I feel like you didn't really hear an accent no more. You're just talking to them now. I still talk to T. Shout out to T. I still talk to T, one of the students there. He was just so sweet. You have questions about anything whatsoever it was. They were so willing to share with you and just talk through some uncomfortable stuff. We grew pretty close. The group I went with, we grew pretty close, and we also grew closer to the South African students because although during the day we had to go on trips to the mountains and stuff like that and see South Africa, but at nights when we got back at 8, we as a group of students would just go to to the playground or whatever on campus and just like play volleyball like the entire night, even though we have
Wow.
to be up at 7 the next
Wow.
morning. Yeah, so we bonded so much, even though there was like little time.
Yeah.
We all still found time to bond, which I think was beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And then I assume you guys communicated in English, right?
Yes, but a couple students did speak the same languages as they were from the same tribes, but not everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you or your uh, classmates or group mate navigated that, like hearing different accent and the language?
As for the language, we would try to like repeat after the students
Oh,
on stuff like "Good morning," "How are you?" Like I don't want to say, I don't want to mess up, so I'm not gonna say so. But like there was this time, Lugelie, one of the students, who she's an author and she also writes like articles for the school at Mpumalanga. She is so sweet and she's so smart. So there was a time where it was so cold and we had to get to breakfast, and it was just me and her behind. So she called her dad and asked him for a ride just to get us from the dorms to the hotel, even though it wasn't that far, but he was around, so she just called him. And when we got in the car, he just started teaching me a bunch of like words in like the tribal languages, and I'm just like, this is a lot for me to like process. Like for the entire day, I could speak it, I could like respond, but like after that, I
wow.
forgot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great experience. Nice. Thank you for sharing that. How about with the Kirkwood group? So usually at Kirkwood we have about 10 students and 2 faculty leaders, right?
Yeah.
How did you create the bond or get to know each other?
So like even before the trip, some of us decided to go bowling. So we did go bowling, and then like after, the people I bonded with most, I feel like I bonded with everybody, but the people I feel like I bonded with most was like Harrison, Leah, Tenley, Giovanna. Like those three were like, I was super close to those three. Like, cause me, Leah, and Tenley, we have the same interest and stuff in things, and we think about things kind of the same way. So we were just like this group. We even plan to go bowling soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you have met them if you weren't in this program?
No,
Okay.
cause like their program is just so different from mine. Even here at Kirkwood, I barely see them, even though we go to the same school. Like I've only seen Tentley once since the
Oh.
semester started.
Really?
Yes, once, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So earlier you also mentioned that you are criminal justice major,
Yeah.
but this program is more of a agriculture, really different, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of learning did you have? Was it like how beneficial was it?
So at first, there were some people in the group who was ag major, and he would talk about farming. We would use a lot of farming words, and I'm just like confused. Most of the time, I was confused. Like, okay, citrus. I kept hearing the word citrus, citrus. I'm like, what is that? Because every conversation, like, it has to have citrus in it. I
Okay.
had no idea what that was. I was just like, okay. And then as we started going to like the blueberry farms, things that I actually eat and like know about, it was easier to like understand at times. Although it was hot at times, and I couldn't focus. But like the blueberries, it was just so good. Like I learned so much about. I didn't know banana trees. I didn't know you had to like cut them after harvest and then
Oh,
regrow them again.
really?
And like people actually grow the same crops on the same field after some time. I did not know that. You had to cut down the banana and then you can't reuse the same flour, or like it was just a lot of information coming through.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about like I know you guys shared a lot of pictures about animals. So you guys went to safari park?
We went to Cougar National Park. We stayed. This was shocking to me. We stayed in a university in Cougar. And the university was like surrounded by like electric fans, obviously. 'Cause
Electric
there was
fans?
animals. Yeah, there was animals
Oh.
around.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first day we got there, I think we did a game drive.
Okay.
I did not like the first game drive. I'm gonna be totally honest because I did not know it was gonna be so long. And like I was eating, I was drinking before getting on the vehicle, like, and I had to use the restroom. but we couldn't stop.
Why was it long? So you like went so far, so you couldn't come back. It was not an option.
So like it was literally like go around basically.
Okay.
So we start from the university right here, and you go around and then come back to your university.
Oh.
So it was everybody was excited, you know. It's understandable. We don't see elephants and giraffes just walking around every day. That's cool. But like what got to me was we've seen an elephant already, right? And I gotta pee. We've seen the elephant. Why are we stopping again after seeing another elephant? Like, can we go? That was one of the things that I really hated about the first game drive because like are you serious?
Aww.
Like people kept saying, oh my god, it's a giraffe. We go again, it's a giraffe. Why are we stopping to see the exact same animal we just saw?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I wish they told you how long it would be.
Yes, I was more prepared on the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But
How did that go?
The thing that also made me mad about the first one was it was optional. So I did not have to be there.
Oh.
But then the second one wasn't optional. In the second one, we saw like more animals, but we did a night one.
Okay.
And a lot of people were so over it. They're like, I'm not doing this again. It was just like 5 or 6 of us. And we saw a lion. That was the only day we saw the lion.
Wow.
And we also saw a cheetah the same day.
Yeah.
Like we saw so many things we didn't see before the same day. Like,
yeah.
I was kind of glad I went on that one. But like,
What
I went on
about-
a hungry stomach.
What about the animals that you could see them? Like you mentioned, like giraffe, elephants,
We saw
lions.
a lot of animals that I don't even know the name of.
Oh.
Yeah. There was this animal that looked like a deer,
Okay.
but it's not a deer.
Uh-huh.
I forgot the name. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. But we kept
Wow.
seeing it all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you feel though? It's so different, right, from Iowa.
Yeah.
We don't see those wild animals.
Like when we got to Cougar while we was going, I feel like we saw way more animals going
Yeah.
than during the game drives.
Uh-huh.
Because we had to wake up so early.
Mm.
Apparently the animals come out early.
Mm-mm-mm.
I guess they have alarm clocks, but they come out super early, so we had to wake up early to go to those game drives. But when we was going to Cougar, it was kind of in the evening time, and we did see way more animals, and the animals was like much closer to us. Like there was a elephant who literally waved at us with the trunks. It was like, "Ooh, so cute."
So, if you can share any like one experience, a moment that happened to you and it really impacted you, what would it be? Can you share that with us?
Oh, so many good things happen. So many good things happen. I want to say maybe when we went to the like a museum in Cougar, because it was kind of like Cougar has a town in it.
Okay.
Yeah. And we visited this museum. It was just like talking about South African history and stuff. But reading through those history, like you didn't really hear more about like South African native tribes. So Lugelie, one of the students who she does a lot of research and she's into stuff like that. She is so bold. Like the lady who was giving the tour, she literally told her like, well, I don't really think this history is representing like South Africa. And as somebody who don't know this history of South Africa, I just started reading to and follow Lugelie, and she just started like explaining stuff about, you know, like tribes in South Africa, and I learned a lot from her than like just reading those like.
Wow.
Yeah, because most of the history on the wall at the museum just felt like it was just about after white people went to South Africa, not before they got there, the history that was there.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Wow.
So that was one thing that was like, oh my God.
I'm so glad you had the experience.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Wow. So I know there are so many Kirkwood students who are interested in doing study abroad. But if you can leave any final message for them, what would it be?
Don't think about the money. Like, I know it's expensive, and when I decided to do study abroad, I did not know how I was going to pay for it. Like, I just signed up because I was like, oh my God, I want to go to a different country, continent, you know? But like, I told my mom about it. She was like, "So how are you planning to pay for this, Miss Ma'am?" I was like, "I don't know, but we gonna figure something out." So like,
Oh.
he wrote me like he wrote me is so helpful. By the way, like I used to come here every single day asking he wrote me like, "Can you help me?" Like she used to help me look over my paper for like the scholarships. Like although I didn't get that scholarship, I ended up getting a different one, which helped me pay for it. So like the trip was like 5K and over I just paid like 1K out of pocket. So don't, if you mind, in life, if you listen to the money all the time, you're not gonna do anything because we come to Kirkwood, we don't even pay the full tuition on time, but we're still here. So might as well just do it. Might as well just do it.
Might as well just do it.
Just do it. Nike, just do it.
Oh, Ellen, thank you so much
Thank
for sharing
you.
your stories and the messages. I'm sure everyone enjoyed listening to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So at Kirkwood, we have a lot of study abroad options and also scholarship opportunities too. If you are enrolled as a full-time student for degree-seeking student and have more than 2.5 GPA, you can get more than $1,000 scholarship from us too. So let us know if you have any questions. We are here in the Global Learning. All right. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.